Mike and Lisa from the Outlaw RVers, and this is a little recap of our trip to the Delmarva Motorcycle Rally, which is in Maryland, Virginia, Delaware, and Virginia. So Delmarva. We left on Wednesday pretty late. We were supposed to get on the road around noon. I had fire training at Logan Airport, and Lisa had some stuff to do with the hospital. So we got on the road about 7 o'clock at night. I think 7:30 at night, and I drove till about 1 in the morning into New Jersey, right outside of Atlantic City. We stayed at a great Harvest Host. I will put the link in the description below to the Harvest Host that we were at. I had to get up at 6 in the morning to drive another hour and 15 minutes to the Cape May ferry, which
deserves an episode of its own, because that is my new favorite thing. I will take that ferry every time we go this direction again, to and from. It is so fun. They are so exceptionally well organized, clean. The facilities are amazing. The boat is beautiful, and we live on an island, so it's kind of weird because we have the experience of our ferry workers being just generally miserable. They have that reputation of being generally miserable for whatever reason, but these guys were fun. They were all like happy to see us. They were like parking us and waving, and they were like, oh, nice rig and stuff like that. And then on the top floor they have a bar, which of course there were tons of people going to the rally, so there were a bunch of bikers there. The whole bar was full. These
bar opens at 9 a.m.
Two guys served drinks. They were great. We're going to show some pictures. One older guy who's probably in his 80s, who was the sweetest guy ever, and I said to him, how long have you been doing this? And he goes, since 7. So
the Cape May ferry runs from the coastal, it runs from the coastal area of Jersey, which is down the Garden State Parkway along Atlantic City, Long Beach Island, and that runs to Cape May. And it's the Cape May Lewis ferry, and it runs over to Lewis, Delaware. It was about an hour-and-a-half ferry ride, but it saved us a lot of drive time and just some relaxation to get out of the motorhome.
I'm sorry, there are gnats in here, which is why I have this thing. I don't know why.
So
anyway.
For a 40-foot motorhome, it was $53 for the hour-and-a-half ferry ride. You have to report an hour before your reservation. You must make a reservation for all vehicles, and it was $10 per person for the ferry. So for $73, we were able to save probably about 120 miles worth of driving.
The whole experience is just awesome.
So we got off the ferry, drove an hour and 15 minutes to Whaleyville, Maryland. Whaleyville, Maryland, which is right outside of Ocean City, Maryland, about 15 minutes from the rally. A beautiful campground called Sun Outdoors. Sun Outdoors.
It's a chain.
Ocean City Gateway. But the one we stayed at was beautiful. They have a massive dog park.
Again, a whole other episode, because it's probably, if not the best campground I've ever stayed at, it's in the top 3, because it was so exceptionally clean. It was level. It was beautiful. They had all of the amenities you could ever think of. Dog parks, pools, kids stuff.
Mini golf.
Of course, there were tons of bikers there because it was Delmarva Bike Rally, and everybody was just so nice and kind and having a great time. It was just, I can't say enough about it. And it was right off the highway. So when you get on the highway to go to whatever sites, and we'll tell you some more about that stuff, but you could go one way or the other. You didn't have to go through any winding roads. You were right there off the highway.
The funny thing is, on the way down, I saw a Facebook post from my friend Eric and Josh that they were going to the rally. I haven't seen Eric or Josh in 11 months. We rode down to Biketoberfest in Daytona from Connecticut. I met up with them from Mass. I drove to Connecticut.
And didn't you go to Sturgis with them?
I went to Sturgis with them. We rode 7,700 miles out to Sturgis. So I saw Facebook that he's going to the rally, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And I said, we're staying at such and such campground. And he goes, we're in cabin 9. What are the odds? I haven't seen him in 11 months. We drove 1,100 miles in 18 and a half hours to earn our Iron Butt patch last year, coming back from Daytona. We drove from Daytona to the Delaware Memorial Bridge in 18 and a half hours. So it was epic.
You're like solid buddies. I mean,
yeah.
You're motorcycle buddies. And
yeah. And it was great to see him, see his wife, see Josh and his wife, which my wife never met.
Yeah,
any of them.
I never met any of them. And it's always weird when you meet new people. You're just like, well, they're going to be, compatible with us. And I'll tell you, the 6 of us had such a blast. We got along so great. We've already booked our sites for next year. It's a done deal. We had everybody was just kind of laid back, do what you want to do. And the funny thing is, Linda and Eric stayed on one end in the campground in a cabin, and Josh and Julie stayed on the other end in a campground. So,
we were right in the
it
middle.
wasn't like we were like on top of each other. Everybody could just like retire and do their thing. But in the day, we'd get together and we'd go for rides and go out for food and things like that. These are friendships that I think will be forever for me, because we all just had a blast.
So day 1, we did a group ride down to see some wonderful horses that roam free.
Assateague, Maryland. Is it Maryland?
Yeah.
Assateague.
Assateague.
There's ponies, horses that are wild.
In the streets. And
they're wild. I mean, they're walking down the middle of the street, the highway, and you're just driving by on motorcycles, and they don't really care.
And I'm going to clip in right here a video of our motorcycle ride and some other stuff, and we'll check back with you in a couple minutes. Areas.
They have Assateague and Chincoteague, and we thought, well, I thought they were kind of close together. They're not.
They're not.
So we spent one ride going to Assateague. We did all that, and then on the way back,
we were going to do the other one, Chincoteague.
Didn't we go straight to the other one?
Yeah, we did go straight to the other
one. Yes, we went straight to the other one.
It was a long ride.
I wouldn't recommend, honestly,
to do it in one day.
If you were going to do Assateague in the morning, stop for lunch, and then go to Chincoteague in the afternoon, and plan for the whole day to be looking for horses, that's awesome. We were so exhausted by the time we got to Chincoteague, we did a little spin around in a parking lot, which is a whole other story. And
that's for you, Eric.
And so we really didn't even enjoy that part. And then we went and got food.
We found a great restaurant right on the water.
Starving and cold. It was cold. It was just the weather. It was just the weather was like hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold. Because whatever the time of year. But funny story is Eric was leading the pack.
But nobody knew where we were going. We didn't know where we were going. Nobody did.
And we all loved him. He was just willing to lead the pack. It was him, then his wife, and then Josh and Julie on one bike, and then Mike on the last bike. Hey guys, we're here at the where are we?
Delmarva
Bike
Motorcycle Rally at the Convention Center.
It's pretty loud. Lots of bikes, all kinds of people. It's awesome. We're gonna go check everything out, and we'll get back with you later.
All right, bye. So we're here walking on the Ocean City, Maryland boardwalk.
I thought that was a bar, but
oh, what's that up there, Lisa?
what?
Saltwater taffy.
Nobody wants the taffy.
Why don't they want taffy?
Because it's chewy, it's snappy.
Seen rallies where there's been a million bikes, but for the small area of Ocean City, they were maxed out.
It was impressive.
It was impressive for such a small area.
And the number of vendors that they had there was worth it, because that's the thing for me. I mean, I don't want to walk around and look at a bunch of motorcycle parts. I mean, yeah, that's great, but that's not my thing. But I wanted stuff to look at. I mean, I have to say, Eric said the same thing. Eric and Linda said the same. They was kind of heavy on the jewelry. It was a little bit heavy on the jewelry, but they had a lot of stuff, a lot of good stuff to look at, and they had lots of beer and cocktail stands. And they had music playing and stuff like that. So it was I would not pass that up. Last time we came to this rally, we didn't go to the conference center for whatever reason.
We just went to the boardwalk inlet.
That's because we stayed on the boardwalk.
Right. We went to the boardwalk inlet last time, and we saw Three Doors Down. This year it was ZZ Top and a bunch of other bands, but the price was $100 per person to get in. If you go to the Delmarva Rally and you want to go see a concert, pay the $100. But it's not part of the rally. This is actually, the concert series is actually kind of tagged off of the rally.
That's right.
Because they don't have vendors there. All they have food is beer. Food and beer. And it's on the boardwalk. You could sit in the parking lot and listen to the same music.
And I was just going to say that too. Like when we went last year, I think we bought a one-day pass.
Right.
So, and that's when we saw Three Doors Down, which was great. But honestly, you do not need a pass. I mean, I feel bad. Sorry, Delmarva. Sorry for saying that, but you really don't need a pass.
$100 is a lot.
You can enjoy everything. The restaurants, the bars, the activities. You can pretty much enjoy everything except for the concerts without a pass.
Walk the boardwalk. We went to a great fireman's bar. I gave them a patch from our department, and we got free drinks for the rest of the day.
So much easier. Josh and Julie live in South Carolina.
Yep. So they're 10 hours.
They drive up.
Eric's 10 hours and we're 12.
Eric and Linda live in Connecticut, so they'll drive down. We'll drive from Mass, and we're all going to convene there again. And it's such a great rally. It's just riding and vendors and bikes and
beer,
food and drinks, and yeah, it's a nice small rally, but it's so worth it.
Okay, you're rambling.
Burning down the trailer park. Yo, cut it.